Professor Amiya Kumar Rath. I welcome you, sir, once again to the institute. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you for gracing the occasion.
Thank you, Dr. Raja Kumar, Dr. Asmi. I'm just sharing my slide because the topic given to me is NAAC assessment accreditation process for affiliated constituent colleges. But however, whatever the question raised or whatever the question you would like to raise, I will take up all those questions. The vision of NAAC is to make quality the defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and external evaluation, promotion and sustenance initiatives. Our mission is to arrange for periodic assessment and accreditation of higher education institutions, stimulate the academic environment for promotion of quality of teaching, learning and research in higher education institutions, encourage self-evaluation, accountability, autonomy and innovations in higher education, to undertake quality-related research studies, consultancy and training programs, and to collaborate with other stakeholders of higher education for quality evaluation, promotion and sustenance. Our value framework, the guiding element for assessment and accreditation process, is contributing to national development, fostering global competencies among students, inculcating value system among students, promoting the use of technology and quest for excellence. If you talk about our revised accreditation framework, we have 7 criteria, and for universities we have 34 key indicators, 115 key metrics, qualitative 36 and quantitative 79. Similarly for UG and PG, we have different number of qualitative metrics and different number of quantitative metrics. The criteria is given. If you talk about quality of any higher education institutions, if you look at any ranking framework, in any accreditation framework, you will find all those 7 criteria maybe in different form, sometimes 10 different criteria in NBA, but maybe something like that. You will find these are the main gist or main importance you will find. One is curricular aspects. Curricular aspect is very important. We look for curricular design and development as far as university is concerned, but an autonomous college is concerned, but we look for curricular planning and implementation as far as affiliated colleges are concerned. Similarly, teaching, learning and evaluations has given more importance in affiliated colleges, research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources. Infrastructure, I mean physical infrastructure as well as IT infrastructure. Both the things are very important. Last five months, we are all survived with IT infrastructure, Wi-Fi, bandwidth, all that terminologies, all that laptops. You will find that fine morning when we were looking for laptops, it was not available in the market. Everybody wanted to purchase laptops in this corona pandemic. So IT infrastructure is very important because we do not know how many months still this virtual learning or online learning will happen. Student support and progression is important. Governance, leadership and management, and institutional values and best practices. If you look at the profile of affiliated constituent colleges, UG and PG colleges, we have 7 criteria as I mentioned. Then qualitative metrics. Qualitative metrics, when the peer team members will go to the institute, they will look for the qualitative metrics. As far as qualitative metrics are concerned, we expect when we submit your self-study report, we expect you to write in the report, write in the self-study report format, whatever we provide, 500 words. You can put it entire thing and you can give a web link there, so that the partners, the peer team members, they'll go to the website and check. Similarly, for quantitative metrics, whatever the numbers you have, that has to be validated and verified. I said validated and verified. Validated and verified by the DVV partners. We call it as data validation verification partners. Similarly, for affiliated UG, we have 8.3. Similarly, for teaching, learning, evaluations, 9 quantitative metrics and 7 qualitative metrics. It will go like this. Every criteria we have quantitative metrics as well as qualitative metrics. Profile of the affiliated colleges. Curricular aspects, 100 is the weightage. Curricular planning and implementation. How you plan your curricula is most important. Curricular enrichment. To enrich the curriculum, do you conduct some value-added courses, attend courses, certificate programs, then feedback system. We expect all the institute, even if it is universities, autonomous colleges or affiliated colleges. So the feedback needs to be collected from all the stakeholders related to the curriculum, because the idea is how, whether simply you are collecting the feedback or you are analyzing the feedback, and after analysis, what is the action taken, whether you communicate to the universities, whether you communicate to the board of studies member, whether you entire thing you put it. These are the things we expect as far as feedback system is concerned. Curricular aspect says initiatives for effective delivery, effective curriculum delivery, adheres to the academic calendar, adheres to the academic calendar. See, curricular planning is based on the academic calendar. How do you plan your curriculum? Do you have a lesson plan? Do you give that lesson plan to the students? Do you upload that lesson plan on the website? See, in every lesson plan, what are the activities you are going to perform? Do you conduct some teaching methodologies in every lesson plans? It is not only this is the timing, this is the lesson I will talk. So all those planning of the curriculum is important. Suppose there is a common course. If common course is taught in 2-3 different branches, whether do you have a coordinators for that? Plan, so all 3 or 4 members sit together and plan accordingly. Whether you do that or not, whether every course has a course outcome, and whether the assessment and attainment of course outcome, whether that exercise you carried out or not, because throughout India or throughout globe, people are talking about outcome-based education. Whether you give importance to outcome-based education, that's very important as far as. And in your class diary, every faculty members will have a class diary or complete. There you should have your question papers, last 5 years question paper. You should have your course materials, soft copy as well as hard copy. You should have sample questions, the quiz questions, the assignment questions, right? All those things like the books, what are the reference books, what are the textbooks, everything has to be there in the class diary. Whether you conduct academic audit is across the departments, across from each faculty members, they should maintain their academic diary properly. It is not only having a lesson plans. Whenever you are implementing the lesson plan to the students, how you maintain, whether suppose you planned for in 1 hour of lectures, I'll be completing this, but you could not able to complete because of different reasons. What is the, when you are conducting in the next class, do you get another class for that or not? So all those things has to be recorded in your class diary. Whether you have choice-based credit system or elective courses, how many programs you have elective courses, whether suppose 60 students in the class, whether you are making them compulsory that only you have to take this elective course, or you are giving flexibility to the students that they can choose their own electives. Like, suppose I could be in a position to offer 3 different electives, 10 students each, I can offer a course, elective course, whether that kind of facilities is there or not. Only university mere having a elective course will not be sufficient, but you should have provision to offer that elective courses to the students. Suppose every subject, always the affiliated colleges used to complain that we don't have any role to play as far as syllabus is concerned. University is preparing the guidelines, university is preparing the syllabus, but university has never told you that you teach something extra to the students. Every subject should have 1 unit which will be advanced, which the faculty can choose and put that in the syllabus, and at least 5 classes should be dedicated to those things. When you talk about latest development in any of the area, you take any subjects
what are the latest development you want to teach to the students. Let us keep it in the syllabus. Let us teach the students. See, learning is not only examinations. Examinations securing this many percentage, any of student will, try to find out. They will learn for the examinations. They will write examinations. But learning is something. Give extra, additional 5 hours of lectures in every subject, so that they will understand what is the latest development in that area. That's all academic planning. Let us not blame each other. Let us not blame to the university. Let us blame ourselves if we are not doing that. University has never told you that don't know what I have prepared a guidelines, don't teach something extra. Nobody will tell you. Whether you are providing add-on courses, certificate programs, professional ethics, genders, human values, environment and sustainability, or whether your curriculum contains all those type of courses or not, because students should have some knowledge about environment, protecting the environment, professional ethics, environment, sustainability, right? All those things should be included in the curriculum. Percentage of courses, project work, field work, internships. How many students are participating? How many students are going for project work, field work? What is the provisions the institute is making so that the students will go out, participate in internship programs, field visits, project work, etc. Whether curricular enrichment, because to enrich the curriculum, see, for graduate employable, when a student will come to your institute, if it is a 3 years course, they will come, first year they will come, they will be like a raw materials. But when they pass out, they will be like a finished products. So the finished products should be sellable in the market. That means they should get a job. In the 3 years, what they will be there in your institute, they will be like you are processing them. You are processing the students, making them from raw materials to the finished products. It is the duty of the universities, duty of the colleges, duty of each and every faculty members to see that for graduate employability, some curriculum enrichment program has to be conducted. Next is feedback system, whether you are simply collecting feedback or analyzing the feedback, and action taken, and feedback is available on the website. See, this is a qualitative metrics, QLM. As I told you, qualitative metrics you need to write within 500 words. Institutional integrates cross-cutting issues relevant to professional ethics, gender, human values, environment, and sustainability into the curriculum. Similarly, it's a quantitative metrics, QNM, average percentage of courses that include experiential learning through project work, field work, internship during last 5 years. Criteria 2 is teaching, learning, and evaluations. In teaching, learning, and evaluations, more weightage is given to the affiliated colleges. The weightage is 350. Student enrollment and profile is 40. Catering to student diversity 50. Teaching, learning process 50. Teacher profile and quality 60. Evaluation process and reforms 30. Student performance and learning outcomes 60. Student satisfaction survey 60. So here we have some metrics like seats filled, how many seats filled, against seats reserved for various categories as applicable as per the reservation policies. Whether the institute, when the students take admission, whether you assess the learning level of the students, who are the advanced learners, who are the slow learners, what is the motivation I should provide for the advanced learners. Am I encouraging the students who are advanced learners to participate in hackathon competition, to participate in Skill India, to participate in conferences, to participate in seminars? And the slow learners, they are not able to understand in the class, whether I am providing some coaching classes, some remedial classes to those students. What is the mode of assessing the students? It is left to the organization. You can see that how you can assess the students. See, in my class, more than 27, 28 years of teaching in my life. I can understand who is slow learners, who understands in the class, who doesn't understand. So that's very important. Then students full-time teachers ratio. What is full-time teachers? Please look at our glossary. We have categorically given, because some of the places they have some contractual faculty members also. The definition of full-time teachers we have given in our glossary. Please go through it. student-centric methods, because students should not be a mere listener. Students should participate, whether student-centric methods are followed or not, like experiential learning, participative learning, problem-solving methodologies, whether ICT tools are used in teaching learning process, whether innovative teaching techniques are followed by the faculty members, used by the faculty members, like multimedia, animation, game, snakes and ladders, demonstration, seminar, role play, group discussion, case studies, brainstorming. In every lesson plan, at least in 5 or 7 classes or 8 classes, they should write what is the innovative teaching techniques I am following in my class, whether I am following seminars, whether I am allowing the students to participate in learning process, whether I am promoting collaborative learning, whether I am promoting participative learning, whether students are participating in the learning process. That's very important. Other techniques like quiz, word puzzle, and use of ICT. Yeah. So how many students, mentor to students, mentor mentee, how many students are allocated to one faculty members to mentor the students, to guide the students, to know the problem of the students. So what is the average percentage of full-time teachers against sanctioned post? Full-time teachers with PhD qualifications. Do you have program outcomes and course outcomes for all programs? What is a program? As I was telling you, students take admission, stay 3 years. Maybe the program is BSc Computer Science. BSc Computer Science is a program. BTech Electrical is a program. Okay. For completing the program, students study number of courses, number of subjects. Those subjects I call it as course. Every course should have a course outcomes. Every program should have a program outcomes. After my approach is, after completing the program, what is the knowledge, competencies, behavior, attitude, skills of the students, then only they will be employable. So every program, when we talk about outcome-based education, every program should have a program outcomes, every course should have a course outcomes. Assessment and attainment of course outcomes, attainment of program outcome is important, right? When I will talk about this, but I will not talk detail about outcome-based education, but I will give a feeling of importance of course outcome and program outcome and their attainment. When it's a qualitative metrics, when the peer team members, they will come to the institute, they will look for the program outcomes, course outcome, etc. Average pass percentage of students is important. Online student satisfaction survey. NAAC will directly give link to the students and take the online feedback from the students. There are 20 objective questions and there is one subjective questions. You can see those questions are also available on the website. Look at this. There are the 2.3.1 is a qualitative metrics. In qualitative metrics, we have written student-centric methods such as experiential learning, participative learning, and problem-solving methodologies are used. For enhancing learning experiences, you need to write within 500 words because it's a qualitative metrics. Similarly, second one is also a qualitative metrics, 2.3.2. Teachers use ICT-enabled tools for effective teaching learning process. 2.3.3 is a quantitative metrics. Ratio of mentor to students for academic and other related issues. So before little bit giving a flavor of outcome-based education, I will tell you what is importance for the learners. How can we enhance the thinking level of our learners? We need to enhance the thinking levels of our learners. So Benjamin Bloom says, education should focus on mastery of subjects and the promotion of higher forms of thinking rather than a utilitarian approach to simplify transferring facts. It's not only whatever the faculty is a sender, student is the receiver, okay, and the course materials is transferring from the sender to the receivers. It's not that. What is whether you are capable to enhance the thinking level of students? Are you capable of enhancing the thinking level of students in the classroom? What is meaning of thinking level of students? Remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. remembering only, suppose only they can remember or understand or apply, analyze. Whether are you asking questions in the mid-semester examinations, so that whatever they've understood, they should apply, they should analyze, they should create, they should evaluate, or only they remember and understand. Gone are those days, 30 years back, 40 years back, when the teacher will teach in the class, students has to understand, that itself is sufficient, right? But in this day, not only remembering, understanding, it will go up to analyzing, applying, analyzing, creating, and evaluations. And one more thing is, understand the intelligence profile of students. It should not be a monotonous, faculty will speak to student will listen. It's not that, because all of you are faculty members. I'll ask you one question. If I ask you whether you are teaching in the classroom or learning in the classroom, the answer is we want learning in the classroom. If I ask you one more question, whether you want active learning or passive learning, the answer is we want active learning. If I ask you one more question, whether you want active learning or interactive learning, the answer is we want interactive learning to happen. So for promoting interactive learning, what as a faculty members, what should I do? I should ask myself, what should I do if I promote interactive learning? Interactive means students should participate in learning process. Students should participate in learning process. I'll give a typical scenario. If it will not happen, then what is the consequences? High order thinking skills, as I was mentioning, low order to high order. You can use the verb like remembering. You can use state, recall, list, label, and name. Understanding, you can ask questions like explain, summarize, comprehend, interpret. Applying, solve, compute, demonstrate, use. Analyze, you can use infer, analyze, identify, compare, relate. Evaluating, you can use evaluate, contrast, critique, appraise. Creating, you can use generate, design, construct, write, and reorganize. So these are simple example. I will not focus on these examples. So how to take a students from low order thinking to high order thinking skills are important. When we talk about outcome-based education, it will state with a clear picture of what is important for students. So if you know what is important for students, accordingly you organize the curriculum, organize the delivery mechanism, teaching learning process, and organize the assessment. When curriculum, delivery, and assessment you can do properly, then you see that surely learning happens. See, now we have understood what is important for students. What is important for students we have understood. Accordingly, we designed our curriculum, delivery, and assessment. If you do that properly, you will find surely the learning happens. So whenever you prepare your course outcome, it should be student focused, not professor focused. It should focus on objectives and outcomes. It should focus on ability central to the discipline. It should focus on aspects of learning. I'll give you simple examples, computer basics and business. You read like this, at the end of the course, student will be able to apply information technology in business. Again, if you will read like this, at the end of the course, student will be able to understand e-commerce and m-commerce concept. Similarly, for other one also, you can read like this. At the first, you can start, when you start your course outcome, you can start either with understand, of course, then apply, analyze, create. So at the end of the course, student will be able to apply. If you write course outcome in that way, our teaching process also has to be different. We will teach in such a way that in that particular module, in that particular unit, student will be able to apply. Student will be able to analyze. Whenever I'll ask assignment questions, I will see that student will analyze something. Just mere asking a questions, what is this, explain this, will not help the students. Whenever you are asking why we have open book examinations, sometimes in engineering we have open book examinations. That means let the books, internet, everything will provide it to you, but it will be very difficult to answer. I will tell you. You should ask whenever you give assignments. You should ask questions in such a way that it will be difficult. I mean, and students will think and write the examinations. There are some more course outcomes. Okay, see, these program outcomes are very important. What is a program outcome? What is a program? BSc Computer Science is a program. It's a 3 years. They will complete the program once they will undergo 3 years. So program outcomes, we will find out, program outcomes will find out what is the knowledge of the students, competencies of the students, behavior of the students, attitude of the students, that will identify. See, when they will take up 3 years course, 3 years program, to see what are the attributes. This is called as program outcomes or graduate attributes. What are the graduate attributes? Students should have a knowledge of science, engineering, or other discipline. Okay, problem analysis, design and development of solutions, investigation of complex problems, modern tool usage, responsible to society, environment and sustainability, ethics, individual and teamwork, communications, project management and finance, lifelong learning. All those attributes students should possess. That is important. Program outcomes, as I mentioned you, it will describe the knowledge, skills and behavior of the students when they progress from first year to second year to third year to final year, and so on. Whenever you define program outcomes, it should align with the graduate attributes and it should reflect all the graduate attributes. These are the program outcomes, sample program outcomes I have mentioned. Don't worry about it. You can define your own program outcomes, depends on the programs you are offering. Ability to acquire and apply fundamental principles of science and engineering, capability to communicate effectively, acquisition of technical competence in specialized areas of engineering discipline, ability to identify, formulate and model problems and find engineering solutions based on systematic approach. These are the program outcomes I have defined. Whenever you plan for your course, you have a academic calendar. University has provided an academic calendar. Your institute can have another academic calendar in line with the academic calendar of the universities. It's a planning. Okay. Then your curriculum. In curriculum, CO course outcome and CO-PO mapping. So you have defined program outcomes. You have defined course outcomes. Whenever you complete a program of 3 years, possibly they study 20 to 25 courses. What is the mapping between a course outcome and program outcomes? Whether they are slightly correlated, whether they are moderately correlated, whether they are strongly correlated, right? Then your delivery mechanism, like lectures, lecture classes, laboratory classes, pedagogical learning methods. What is the pedagogical learning methods your faculty members are applying in the classroom? Co-curricular activities, whether you plan for the projects, industry institute interaction activities, add-on courses. What is the delivery for weak student and bright students? Then if you do that, you have done your assessment. What are the assessment tools you are using? What is the direct assessment tools you are using and what is the indirect assessment tools you are using? So this is your CO-PO mapping. This course outcome-based education. I wanted to give a flavor of outcome-based education, not the detail of outcome-based education. As I mentioned, slight correlation low, moderate medium correlation 2, and substantial high and no correlations. Apart from program outcomes, you can have a program-specific outcomes. Program-specific outcome is beyond program outcomes, specific to a particular program, and which will be again 2 to 4 in numbers. So blueprint of a faculty is faculty should get good motivation, industrial exposure, they should have enhanced teaching learning process. Output is consistency in performance, better content delivery, and involvement in research. Blueprint of student, competency-based curriculum, state-of-the-art laboratories, faculty members, good faculty members, and ambience, good ambience. Output is academically sound, soft skill, professional approach, and diversified competencies. Blueprint of teaching learning process, modern teaching aids, need-based curriculum, improved and person-independent evaluation. Output is higher acceptability, concept clarity, learning to learn skills, and diversified competencies. So there is a paradigm shift from tell me, if you tell, I will forget. Show me, I will remember. Involve me, I understand. Involve me, this shows that you talk about your collaborative learning, talk about your participative learning, involve the students in the learning process so that they will understand, apply, and analyze. So if you talk about theory of multiple intelligence, so intelligence, people have done a lot of research on intelligence, right? In this, Harvard Intelligence Gardner's multiple intelligence is more popular because it is mostly used in education. Everybody will have different kinds of intelligence in different amounts, and that can be improved. Every student possesses some intelligence. It is the duty of faculty members to identify what is the prominent intelligence in a student, what is the least intelligence in a student, apply the prominent intelligence to improve the least intelligence. And see, Howard Gardner, in his book Frames of Mind, which is published in 1983, he has written, an intelligence, the ability to solve problems or to create products that are valued within one or more cultural settings. So some of the people, some of the students are linguistic intelligence, they are word smart. Some of them are logical and mathematical intelligence, number smart. Some of them are spatial intelligence, picture smart. Some of them are bodily kinesthetic intelligence, they are body smart. Some of them are musical intelligence, they are music smart. Some of them are interpersonal intelligence, they are people smart. Some of them are intrapersonal intelligence, they are self smart. Some of them are naturalistic intelligence, they are nature smart. And some people are existential intelligence. Of course, still people are thinking of existential intelligence. It is the duty of, the implications are, a faculty had to structure the teaching classroom activities to suit the profile of its learners. Not that a faculty will teach, go on teaching for 10 years, 20 years, same thing. Two things are important. One is what to teach, another is how to teach. What to teach comes in the subjects, content. What to teach is content. How to teach, a doctor will not give same type of medicine to the patients, whoever is coming. Is to see what is the intelligence profile of my students. Accordingly, I will structure my classroom, I will structure teaching learning process, which will suit to the profile of my learners. Second one is important. A teacher needs to provide opportunities to learners to demonstrate their learning through methods that match with their personal intelligence profile. And the third most important is influence of the faculty members to strengthen the areas that appear at the lower end of the intelligence profile. So identifying prominent intelligence and least intelligence, as I was telling you. Criteria 3 is research, innovations, and extensions. We have research mobilization for research, innovation ecosystem, research publications and awards, extension activities and collaborations. This is grants for research project is important from government agencies as well as from non-government agencies. What is the percentage of departments having research projects? Whether institute has created an ecosystem for innovations. Whether workshops and seminars are conducted on intellectual property rights and academic initiatives. Seminars, how many number of seminars, conferences, workshops conducted? What is the research paper publication per teacher in referred journals? Books and chapters in edited volume books published. Whether do you conduct extension activities in the neighborhood community? Number of papers published per teacher in the journals. Students' participation in extension activities such as Swachh Bharat Mission, number of extension activities and outreach programs conducted, number of awards and recognitions received for extension activities, number of linkages for faculty exchange, student exchange, internship, field trip, on-the-job training, research, etc. Number of functional MOUs. Functional MOUs means you have a MOUs and which is functional. How many students got benefit out of MOUs? How many faculty members got benefit out of MOU? Whether the institution got benefit out of MOU? That MOU with national, international institutions, universities, industries, and corporate houses. Infrastructure and learning resources. In these physical facilities, library as a learning resource, IT infrastructure, maintenance of campus infrastructure. So adequate facilities for teaching, learning, classroom, laboratories, computing centers. IT infrastructure is more important nowadays. ICT enabled facilities are more important. What is the budget allocations? augmenting the infrastructure facilities, whether your library is automated with integrated library management systems, whether you have e-journals, e-South Sindhu, South Ganga membership, e-books, etc. Expenditure of purchase of books, e-content development, whether Wi-Fi facilities, bandwidth, internet, etc., student computer ratio, whether maintenance of campus infrastructure, online learning resources are important, whether your website is dynamic, multimedia and virtual classrooms, and housekeeping and cleanliness. Criteria 5, student support and progression. Student support, student progression to higher studies, student participation in activities, student and alumni engagement. So students benefited by scholarship and free ships provided by government agencies, capacity building and skill enhancement, soft skills program, language and communication skills, life skills like yoga, physical fitness, health and hygienic, ICT computing skills. Whether remedial coaching, yoga and meditation, career counseling, language lab, bridge courses, personal counseling, placement of outgoing students, qualifying in state, national, international level examinations during the last 5 years. Outstanding performance in sports, cultural activities at university, state and national, international level. Student council and representation of students on academic and administrative bodies. Alumni association registered and functional. Alumni contribution and meetings held, anti-ragging, prevention of sexual harassment, career guidance, etc. Criteria 6 is governance, leadership and management. 100 is the weightage, institutional vision and leadership, strategy development and deployment, faculty empowerment strategies, financial management and resource mobilization, internal quality assurance systems. Effective leadership in tune with the vision and mission. Do you have a decentralized and participative management? Do you have perspective and strategic plan and deployment document? Whether your organizational structure of the institute, including governing body, administrative setup, e-governance in areas of operations, effectiveness of various bodies, whether you have only various committees or the committee members are effective and teaching and non-teaching staffs are participating in different committees. Financial support to the faculty members to attend conferences, workshops, faculty development programs online or face-to-face, teachers attending professional development programs like orientation program, refresher courses, short-term courses, faculty development programs, whether your accounts are financial audits, internal audits and external audits. Institutional strategies for mobilization of funds. Institution reviews its teaching learning process, structure and methodology of operations and learning outcomes at periodic intervals. IQAC plays a very important role for second cycle onwards. IQAC should see that the academic audit to be conducted, the quality of education, quality at each criteria should be improved. That's the IQAC should look into it. We talk about academic audit, we talk about academic and administrative audit, whether you are participating in National Institute of Ranking Framework, what is the incremental improvements made during the next cycle onwards, and agenda, deliberation, minutes of the meeting, legal matters if there is anything, grievance committee, tribunal, reports in media, all those things you should keep it. And criteria 7 is institutional value and best practices, institutional values and social responsibility, best practices and institutional distinctiveness. Here gender equity, safety, security, counseling, common room, renewable energy, lighting power requirements, waste management, solid waste management, liquid waste management, biomedical, e-waste management, e-waste cycle recycle system, rainwater harvesting and utilization, then green practices, green audit, quality audit on environment and energy, institution as disabled friendly, barrier-free environment. Then do you have a code of conduct handbook exists for students, teachers, governing body, administration, including vice chancellor, director, principal, etc. Institution plans and organizes appropriate activities to increase consciousness about national identities. Describe, explain the performance of the institution in one area distinctive to its vision, priority, and trust. I have just completed 45 as per the schedule. I have completed as DVV is important, data validation verification is important. data validation and verification is important, as I was telling. And the quantitative metrics, when you submit your self-study report, and somewhere we capture last 5 years data, and somewhere we capture average percentage of last 5 years data, somewhere multiple choice questions, somewhere current year data, and somewhere current year data ratio. We collect questions that way.
Bimal Chaudhary from Sohib, he raised one question. It is related to now UGC and AICT is going to merge soon. What is your view? Sir, this is the question they raised by Mr. Bimal.
At this stage, it is not right to answer such questions because you can read National Education Policy. They have clearly given in chapter 19, they have clearly given there are 4 verticals. Therefore, see, ultimately, the quality of education in India should improve. From school education till, the higher educations, the quality should improve. Lot of steps, lot of things have been clearly mentioned. In NEP, there are 4 verticals, right? 4 verticals, and there will be something for funding agencies, all professional bodies like ICT, Council, Architecture, all those bodies, they will, merge. A lot of things, there are some changes. It is yet to implement, of course, and let us very early stage to answer such questions. But only my answer to this question is, we want quality of education should improve in this country. Of course, I don't deny that quality is not there. Still, more and more colleges should get autonomy. It's not the responsibility should go to the institutions. They will have more autonomy. They will have more autonomy for designing the courses, for giving more and more input to the students, right? See, more and more autonomy will be subsequently in a phased manner. More and more autonomy to be given to the institutions. Okay, this is only answer to this question is my intention and everybody's intention, those who are present here. Quality of education is most important, from school education to higher education.
So the second question is about, sir, can you please throw the light the role of NAAC in the new education policy?
See, they have defined one national NAAC, National Accreditation Council, right? And chapter 19 itself, they've given talk about multiple agencies and talk about that. Again, it is not in a right now. It is in a not the implementation stage. It is too early to answer such questions. It's too early. It's not the right platform to answer such questions. But they have mentioned for accreditation, there will be one national accreditation agency, NAAC, National Accreditation Council, NAAC. Okay, under that, all the accreditation will go to NAAC. Okay, it is too early to answer such questions, but you can read chapter number 19. I spoke about 4 verticals. Those 4 verticals you can understand. In new education policies, what they've given is there are 4 essential functions they've given. One is for regulation, another is for accreditation, next is for funding, next is for academic standard setting. The 4 essentials are regulations, accreditation, funding, academic standard setting, right? Okay. One is, we have first vertical is HECI. What is HECI? Higher education regulatory. First, see, there are 4 independent verticals. There are 4 independent verticals within one umbrella. Within one umbrella, there will be 4 different verticals. What is that bigger umbrella? That bigger umbrella is Higher Education Commission of India, HECI. That is a bigger umbrella. Under that umbrella, we have NHERC. What is NHERC? National Higher Education Regulatory Council. Regulatory authority, regulatory council. That is the first vertical. Second vertical is second vertical is meta accrediting body called the National Accreditation Council. This is the second vertical. Third vertical is HEGC, Higher Education Granting Council. We have a separate council for granting funds. Last one is fourth vertical is General Education Council, GEC, General Education Council. A lot of things they have given, right? lot of things they've given. I'll not go, I mean, this is out of scope of my, since somebody has asked, I thought these are the 4 verticals. This is very important for, I mean, implementations. This is still, it is to be implemented. It is to be implemented. Let us, I don't think this is the right platform to answer. I mean, but I've answered that 4 verticals, which is available public.
Okay, sir. Thank you. If the student are going to out campus for placement from college, whether it will be considered on campus or off campus placement?
Whatever it is, placement of student is important for us. Placement of student is in our metric. Placement of student is important, right? How many students are placed, whether they've got on campus or off campus, whatever it is. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, please clarify whether the student satisfaction survey is essential to conduct for AQAR. If yes, then can we use the question from the given sample in the end of manual? What kind of analysis is required?
See, we have, whenever we collect our self-study report, we have our own format of conducting a student satisfaction survey, 20 objective questions and 1 subjective questions. That subjective questions we give it to the peer team members so that they will go to the institute and they will look for, they will get an input from that TA. But however, in the institute, in my point of view, if you ask me, my point of view is every faculty member should take the questionnaires input from the students as a feedback, because what I am teaching in the class, if the students have difficulty in understanding, so for AQA also, for quality also, if you can conduct you can take a questionnaire, a number of questionnaires you can take it if you can manage. There is nothing, no harm. But NAAC is conducting a student satisfaction survey that is absolutely different. We calculate the student satisfaction survey GPA, okay, grade point average we calculate in our own calculations. But however, you can conduct your, there's nothing wrong in conducting student satisfaction survey at your own level. That is just for improvement of the college, improvement of the performance of the college, institute, as well as the faculty members.
Thank you, sir. The next question, it's about, can you explain online assessment procedure?
Yeah, in online assessment procedure, see, first you need to submit your HEI portal. HEI registration is important. Then you need to submit your IIQA. IIQA, you need to submit institutional information for quality assessment. Then the IIQA basic information you need to submit in IIQA, like statutory regulatory authority council. There are some undertakings. Okay. Then what are the courses programs you are offering, principal number, this, that, basic information we ask. If everything is in order, we approve it, right? Once we approve, then SSR window will be opened for 45 days. You'll be given 45 days to submit your self-study report. However, this corona pandemic, we are extending the dates for self-study submission of self-study report. In that, you will find it's like a form. You might be thinking it's a big form, how to enter, my internet connectivity, all that. So what you can do is, after writing one page, you can save it. There is a save button in every page. So you can go on submitting the documents. We have a templates as well as we have a supporting documents. Let us take a simple example. How many value-added courses you have conducted? So there's templates are there. Please don't change the template. NAAC is provided templates. It is there in the manual. It's there on the website. You fill it up and again use supporting documents. You just attach the supporting documents. For that also we have given a link for giving a upload option also. Okay, if you do that, then for every questions, every quantitative questions, it is like this. For a qualitative questions, you need to submit. For a qualitative questions, you have to write within 500 words. As I was mentioning you, if it is more than 500 words, you need to upload it. You need to upload in your website and give the link there. Okay, that is the thing. That is the simple form. You need to fill it up. Once SSR will undergo DVV process. After 1 week, you get a DVV. DVV will ask you some clarifications. So then DVV HCI clarifications. Then after that, what happens? Then the SSR gets updated. Once that is over, HCI response is completed, that SSR gets updated with a new value. At the time of submission, you have given some value. During that clarification, sometimes it is decreased, sometimes it is increased. Then SSR gets updated. When SSR gets updated, then pre-qualifications. Pre-qualification is 25% of the quantitative metrics. If you score 25% or more, then only pre-qualified. If pre-qualified, then only peer-to-peer methods, right? Again, that is all, everything is, entire process is online. Even peer-to-peer members in the field, they will submit the report, they will submit the PRSS, peer review score sheet, everything is online. Then it gets merged, the quantitative metrics, qualitative metrics, everything gets merged, then the final CGPA.
Thank you, sir. Another question, it's about certificate course has some structure. Sir, can you explain?
I will tell you this standard operating procedures we have given. What is the certificate courses, add-on courses, value-added courses, how many hours of durations, then only it will be considered by NAAC. Everything we have mentioned in our standard operating procedures. Please go through the standard operating procedures, which we call it as SOP. SOP for affiliated colleges, SOP for autonomous colleges, SOP for universities are given. There in that SOP we have given what is to be uploaded and what is not to be uploaded, which one to be considered and which one not to be considered, that we have given. It might be giving so much of documents, so many documents. It may not be considered by us because those documents are not required. See, so please go through the SOP about certificate and other programs. In detail we have given. In detail we have given.
Thank you, sir. The next question, it's about, due to COVID-19, all the colleges are going through online mode for classes. Webinar, FDP, even the admission these days have taken as a backseat. How NAAC going to aggregate the same? Will those essential be sufficient, keeping in the view of 7 criteria?
For us, there is no problem at all whether it is FDP is face-to-face or FDP is online. For us, there is no difference. Okay, we will consider whatever online things we will consider. There is no doubt about it.
At present situation, is there any plan for online accreditation process for HEI, those who have submitted DVV?
No, online visits, we have not planned for online visits. We are not, because ours is, we need to interact with different stakeholders. Once the college will resume peer-to-peer visits, we will start. Online, we have not planned for online visits.
Thank you, sir. Does online webinar will be valid and count for API score?
API is academic performance index, right? API is, that is, should count actually API. But API is different for recruitment and other agencies. Recruitment, they conduct API also. How many faculty development programs, that should be considered. There's no doubt about it. But as far as our metrics are concerned, we conduct online. If you do online, we have written in our manual also. Before this pandemic, we have prepared the manual, we have written it. Face-to-face / online. Online, we are going to conduct. There's no doubt.
Sir, please explain about academic flexibility with example.
Yeah, academic flexibility, whether we are giving, as I was mentioning, in our choice-based credit system, elective courses, how many programs you have choice-based credit system, how many programs you have elective courses, whether you are offering those electives or you are making it compulsory for all the students. Suppose you have electives, 5-6 electives are there, but at the end you are telling that no, you have to take only these electives, or because we have shortage of faculties, only one we will offer. No, right? What are the choice-based credit system elective courses? That is academic flexibility.
Thank you, sir. Sir, another question from another person. Sir, my college is in rural area where no internet connection is available. How can we go for accreditation?
Now in rural area also, you will find that with a smartphone, they can, They can go for connectivity to things, and people are coming rural from many places, from Bihar, from UP. Institutes are applying for accreditation. See, if you tell no internet connectivity in these days, previously we had food, cloth, and shelter, the basic needs, food, cloth, and shelter. You know, the basic needs have been changed. Food, cloth, shelter, and internet. There are 4 basic needs now. Of course, you should, because see, our students are competing with students from other country, other states, right? So from mobile phone itself, you can apply. Hotspot, you can do it and apply the manual. Manual is not that complicated. Manual is a simple manual, I'll tell you. You can see, you can take 10 days to apply it. You can submit some document, put a save button, again submit next day, put a save button. Everything, whatever you submit, it will be there. See, if you are telling internet connectivity is not there, then you will find students might be having internet with smartphone. Throughout, people are busy with WhatsApp. That means they have internet connectivity. Okay. There is, I don't think there is any problem in this. We are not facing problems. Hardly 1 or 2 institutes, but I don't think we will have problem in this.
So 3 more questions are there. Or FDP of 10 days or more equivalent to certain UGC courses as refresher or others, or FDP of 10 days or more equivalent to certain UGC courses as a refresher or others.
Please go to our SOP, because if you ask me our guidelines, I will speak. I don't want to speak about others' guidelines. Our guidelines, if you talk about value-added courses, minimum it will have 30 hours. Then only we'll consider as a value-added courses. If it is FDP also, 1 week FDP, whatever we mentioned in our SOP, standard operating procedures, we will count it as far as our metric is concerned. Okay, I will not discuss about what UGC spoke about 3 weeks refresher courses. UGC talk about 3 weeks refresher courses. But ours is, if you please read our SOP, 1 week FDP programs that we consider. But as far as value-added courses for the student is concerned, minimum it should be 30 hours. Otherwise, we will not consider it as a value-added courses. Like SOP we have given, as I mentioned you, please read the SOP for clarity, more clarity.
Will mentor colleges get extension for mentor process under Pramash scheme? Will mentor college get extension?
Out of scope of my this thing, we have not given Paramarsh. UGC has given UGC Paramarsh schemes, right?
Thank you, sir. As an affiliated institution, what are the major suggestion and factor on which we can work and get the higher accreditation grade?
Yeah. See, don't think about, first of all, I'll tell you, don't think about getting a higher accreditation. Think about improving the quality of education, right? You think of your benchmark. I'll tell you, every faculty members motivate them to publish papers. First one. Similarly, the teaching learning is very important. Teaching learning has got more weightage. Focus on teaching learning. Focus on proper curricular planning. Focus on getting feedback from the different stakeholders. All the have different committee members for the administrative needs. Go for academic audit. Quality audit exercise, please go for quality audit exercise. Like best practices, whatever the planning best practices, you analyze, discuss among yourself what is the best practices our institute has. If you don't have good best practices, how we can go about it? Every criteria, please go focus. It will not be a costly affair. Without a pie also you can do it. My point is only faculty has to contribute. Every faculty should have inner feeling that no, I have to do it. At least whatever possible contribute in my level, I will have to do it. From curricular planning or curricular aspects, till the institutional values and best practices, all the criteria you should contribute in a different manner. So teaching learning you should consider more, because 350 is the weightage for teaching learning.
Can you explain PDCA cycle, plan, D, check and act. Plan, do, check and act.
Yeah, this is a say like planning, execute, and feedback. Okay, plan. Okay, plan, develop, implement, and execute. Like it's a software life cycle. Like the way we call it as, I mean, waterfall model or spiral model. Because everything, if you plan, then execute, then feedback. Take the feedback. But everything you implement. Everything you implement, plan it and see that. Even talk about the teaching plan. You plan it properly, execute it before the students. Then again take feedback. Try to find out whether my planning is wrong. If my planning is wrong, I will replan, re-execute, then take feedback again. Like that, it's all an iterative model. It's all a spiral model. It's all an iterative model. It's all a spiral model. There is no question of waterfall model. We call waterfall model in our, software engineering development of softwares. We call a waterfall model. There is no question of waterfall model. At any stage, we can go to the previous stage. When you develop, plan, then execute. Suppose I will tell you only to plan, execute. Once execute, there is any problem, feedback, then again replan, right? Replan and execute. That way only refinement will take place. Refinement will take place. Everybody has to do that in all activities. Even a class, for teaching a class also, plan, then develop, execute, then replan. Replan. What is replan? Because after feedback, I thought of replanning my lesson plans. I thought of replanning my pedagogy, what I am teaching in the class. That everybody has to contribute in that way.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Professor Amiya.
Yes, sir.
Very good evening, Dr. Amin this side. It's a great session from your end. May I have few questions? One question is related to key indicator 1.4.1 and clubbing with key indicator 2.7.1. 1.4.1 is structured feedback to be received from various stakeholders, students, teachers, employers, alumni, and parents. 2.7.1 is SSS, which just now we have talked about. Well, sir, under 1.4.1, we used to take feedback from the students. That is restricted only up to the feedback concerned with the syllabus only will be considered.
1.4.1, we asked whether feedback you are collecting related to curriculum. But don't only think about NAAC. If you think about quality of your education system in the institute, please prepare a feedback. Some questions on curriculum, some questions on teaching learning, right? But those feedback, if you analyze, instead of asking separate questions for curriculum, separate questions for teaching learning, see, we ask teaching learning in our metric number 2.7.1. That's altogether different, right? Which we ask. But for your improvement, for the improvement of the institute, I always tell that please ask a questionnaires from the students. But in 1.4 criteria 1 for feedback system, whatever we asked for the feedback system, that is related to curricular development. Because in what way your stakeholders are involved in curricular development, even if you are affiliated colleges. Whether you have a practice of collecting feedback from different stakeholders, analyze the feedback, action taken, and feedback you are hosting on the website. We expect that your students would participate in giving their views as far as curriculum is concerned.
That's great, sir. If under 1.4.1, it means teachers, employer, alumni, parents are not being asked for the feedback other than the course curriculum, or they are not being allowed to give their feedback on other aspects like infrastructure, like the placement, and anything. So my question is, the NAAC is not asking any feedback from the teacher, employer, alumni, and parents on other than the course curriculum.
Yes.
Okay.
When the peer team members visit the institute, they would like to interact with each one of them. other stakeholders. They like to interact with the stakeholders when the peer team members will visit the institute.
Sir, I need your opinion. For the same syllabus and course curriculum, the program outcome, graduate attributes may vary depending upon the quality of teaching and the students as well. Am I right, sir?
Graduates, when they complete 3 years or 4 years, what are the attributes they should possess? They should possess knowledge of the subject, maybe in that investigation of complex problems, environment, problem solving skills they should have. They should have a skills of working in a team. Those is a skills that is you can find out what my students, I want to see my students after they complete their program. What is my expectation? I will see the students in this way. To find out the attributes, accordingly prepare the program outcome.
Wonderful, sir. Here my question lies. If we take the example of engineering college, right from IIT up to the very small and low-level college at the Kasbas and small town, then there are mushrooming of the colleges also. So all these colleges, right from IIT down the level, every college will not have the same attributes, will have to vary. So what is your opinion on while framing the attributes or the program outcome? What is your opinion and advice?
I want problem solving skill, whether it is IIT or it is small college. I want professional ethics, environment, small college, big college, investigation of complex problems, both the places, teamwork, team building, here and there. Both places, graduate attributes is same. You can have some more graduate attributes also if you like, if it is a big college or, but these are the main point I have given there. 12 standard graduate attributes I have defined. Small college, big college, all graduates. See, if it's a small college also, we can see that students will be able to work in a team. When I come to Bangalore for working in IT companies, they should be able to work in a team. That's important. Otherwise, very difficult. They should not be individualistic. They should have some responsibility to the society. In this corona pandemic, we understood that every student, at least the society, they should have some role to the society. Protection of environment. They should have some knowledge about environment, environment protections. That also, all those 12 graduates, whatever I have defined, I've taken from ABET, I've taken from different international agencies. So these are the standard practice followed throughout the world, that these are the graduate attributes every graduate should have.
That's great, Mr. Amiya. You mean that there should be a standard which every college must maintain, but yes, the bigger and the reputed and the high rank college should further add on the attributes. Thank you, Professor Amiya. Thank you very much.
This is Dr. Amiya Kumar, Director. So I would have certain queries from you. One thing you very rightly said, which has been for advantage for all the faculty members. Two aspects you talked about, learning and the teaching. So very well, the things has been focused. They can understand what is teaching and how the learning usually takes place. So from the professor-centered education to the student-centered education, the classroom teaching should be focused on that part. Now, the faculty is making the lesson plan. Now, this lesson plan they make for the how they will go about with the syllabus, what are the pedagogy they are going to work on. Now the question arises that when we talk about the university curriculum and the syllabus, they say lecture this, tutorial this, and practical this, LTP. That's it. They talk about only 3 things. And they give credits for that. Say 6 credits, 3 credits. 4 credits for lectures, 1 credit for the tutorial, and sometimes practical, they have 4 credits. Now, when we talk of pedagogy, which you have talked about, we have to innovate. You have told about 6 to 7 different innovative practices faculty must add to give a leverage to the student so that the student interest will be there. So this part is the innovation which the faculty has to undertake, or it is to be induced by the institute, or we are going to give the freedom to the faculty member to the way they want to work on with this part, number 1. Number 2, the assessment when we are going to make on with the students, the university gives guidelines that this much number is for the class test and rest for the assignment or some viva or those. So now this assignment, viva or presentation, seminars, other things will be band would be opened or will be zooming under that range which the faculty, which the university notify. Third, the lesson plan which we prepare is for the consumption of the student as well, to make it understand and come prepared in the class, and should be web hosted and to make it delivered on ERP to each and every student for the advantage of the student, so that they can come and plan prepared on the lesson plan and they can raise query. Fourth, can student has got a stake to change the lesson plan if they want to, sir, or we could not be able to understand, is this lesson plan is rigid, or can we make a change in lesson plan if the things are not suiting in between when we are going to go for the classes. After 1 month down the line, we feel that the student are not being able to understand these things. Can we change the plan in between as well or not? So these many doubts would be there in mind of the faculty members sometimes. IQAC and as a director of the institute, we feel it whether to go for it or go for the next session. Sometime when we are open, we are going to make it change immediately because we feel it, okay, this is detrimental for the role and the growth of the student, and we change accordingly that. So sir, what is your say on that, please?
About different practicing different teaching methodology or practicing pedagogy, it's always better the institute should conduct a what are the different pedagogy or teaching methodology that can be practiced by the faculty members by taking some specific examples, right? I will tell you almost in 2000, see, whatever I told about teaching methodologies, that is all my practice I have done. I mean, even time permits, I would have shown a role play video also that I have conducted. And
we would love to have that thing, sir. We would love to have that thing.
When I was teaching, way back in 2000, possibly 2009 or 10, I have 3-4 lectures taken, and I was trying to find out the effectiveness of role play. My point here is, let us try to understand what are the teaching methodologies our faculty members should practice. For every teaching methodologies, let us assign to a teacher in his own subject, let him try to explain to the faculty members how this role play will work, how brainstorming will work, because teachers are expert in their own field, right? The subject which they are teaching. I was focusing on, because why I'm telling this, a lot of research people have done in teaching methodology itself. I have attended many conferences, I have presented papers on teaching methodology also, I worked. So due to that, of course, my field area of specialization is different, but I mean, on engineering education, I tried to work how to improve employability and all that. I could see that, see, somebody is good in the subjects, but how to make it more interesting is very important. Only giving concept, because these days, after 15 seconds or so, you will say that after 15 minutes, whatever I mentioned somewhere, student will lose their concentration. How to bring the students into track is important. See, if you tell them to participate, at least one of the lecture hall, instead of a monotonous type of lecture hall, why can't we have a lecture hall of round table kind of things? Round table, at least one lecture hall. Want to use that lecture hall, let them take the approval from the competent authority, let the faculty, students get trained. Make some kind of problems will be given in that, let them sit in the round table kind of discussions, the way corporate, the way they, when they go for dinner also, dinner table, that kind of lectures, at least one lecture hall. Give them a problem, make someone a leader, make someone a follower. What are the responsibility of, it's not that easy task. Assigning problems in that particular room is not easy. So when I was explaining this in one of the forum, they said that, sir, we have 60 students, how all of them will participate? My answer to this question is, of course, same questions anybody can ask. So my answer is, let in this class 30 students participate, 30 students. Others can view, others can observe what they are doing. Next class, remaining 30 can come and participate and they can view. You will find that they will not look for what time the bell ring, I have to go home, that they will not look for that. They will not look for that. They will really enjoy the class, I tell you, because this is all a practice and experience. See, this is the kind of participation, group discussions. What is the effect? Because if the students will not speak in the classroom, if the students will be a mere listeners, just listening to the lectures, writing on the examinations, that will not help the students to come up in life. If you want the students to come up in life, they should participate. You will find that in your cultural programs or any conferences you organize in your organizations, in your institute, there are some students, they always wish to participate and wish to be an anchor. But why we can't give opportunity to other students be an anchor? Why the same students? Whether you want to see, whether you want good program or whether you want the students to improve. Whoever is not performing well, why don't you give opportunity to those students to participate and showcase their performances? When I was a principal and director for a long time. I was telling that, okay, at least in one program of 3 hours durations, give 30, 20 different anchors. They will be speaking for 10-15 minutes, another anchor 10-15 minutes, like that we proceed. So that every student will get an opportunity to participate. Every student will get an opportunity to improve their skills. That's important. Otherwise they will not come up in life. If they will be a mere listener, only listen to the lectures, you will find that in a class, if you go to a class, some of the students, they don't want to speak. If you invite them also, other students will laugh at them. They will not come up in life. So those students will find that they will be very intelligent, but they don't have that communication skills. If you motivate those students, if you allow them to participate in different programs, you'll find that they all will be interested. Ultimately, what we are doing, only getting marks and thinking the students to pass, how many students got first class, second class, that way. At least in 5-7 lectures. I'm not telling that out of 50, out of 40, 45, 50 lectures, find out 5 to 7 classes. See, brainstorming is one of the teaching methodology every faculty members used to practice. Okay, you ask simple, you give a simple terminologies. Whatever the students' views, let us write it on the blackboard. These are the student views. Let us try to analyze. Don't demotivate any students. Let us motivate all students. Try to answer all the, whatever students are telling, try to answer. I am sure the faculty members are completion of syllabus. Very difficult to complete the syllabus. Some classes, do that exercise in some classes. If you do that exercise, it will be a great help to the students. It will be a great help to the students. At least faculty members should know what is the importance of teaching methodology. How this teaching methodology is really, I mean, when I was talking about Bloom's taxonomy, see, is it not that students, whatever you teach to the students, they should not analyze, they should not apply, only remembering? Do you think only remembering, expressing on the answer scripts, will it be sufficient? Only understand and express, no analysis, no analyze, no applying. So all those points are important. Whenever you are asking a questions in the mid-semester, you see, in some of the students also know very well, oh, this faculty member, he will ask, explain this, define, explain. Oh, this faculty member, he will ask all kind of problems, very difficult to answer. Of course, marks he will compromise, marks he will give, relative marks he will give. Students know very well. In some, if for the mid-semester examination, student prepare differently for one faculty members and differently for other faculty members. For one faculty members, define, explain. For other members, they will ask some problematic questions, something where student has to think. Students also, because why I am telling this, I am from a university system, I know the kind of, problems. Okay, sitting at Knack, I can understand, I can view the quality, students, how to improve them. See, first of all, faculty needs to be trained on pedagogy, on teaching methodology.
My big thanks to Dr. Amiya, who has given us his very valuable time to us. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
It's a marvelous session, sir. Language is very simple, very systematic, and very informative. At least I think so. Normal faculty member will be benefited by this. You have done a very exhaustive work. PPT, I have seen it. We will love to have it with us, and we will for advantage of every faculty member. And it's a very simplified way they have been targeted. What exactly they have to look on. And basically, sir, it's kind of an operation which the faculty member has to do in the class. So systematically, you have arranged everything from the academic calendar onwards, timetable onward, and what exactly the objectives and this thing, and even the lesson plan. And one question I have told you, sir, lesson plan for the advantage of the student is be there, or we can put it for somewhere else. So this question remains.
Yeah, you can put the lesson plans, you can put it in the website, no problem at all.
Yeah.
So
lesson plan, we can share it to the students as well. And if students want to change the lesson plan sometime or the pedagogy sometime, we have to change, because you have told we have to make it student centric rather than the professor centric. So the outcome, everybody is clear on that part. We have to focus on the level of the student. If the student is a front runner, then we have got different methodology. If the students are the weak, then we have to make a different strategy, so that ultimate outcome, sir has told, the graduate attributes, all the graduate which is passing out of curriculum, completion of the curriculum should have that same attributes well ingrained in their personality, so that they can be able to do the work for the nation and contribute in the nation's GDP. Thank you, Professor Amiya, for your wonderful session. And we would like to have many more sessions like this in future as well. Thank you, sir.